Good morning and welcome back to 501c TV. This is Janelle Harris. I'm your host. This is the podcast that talks to thought leaders, system change leaders, nonprofits, and nonprofit partners to find out what is going on in their world and to see how we can help them out. And today I am very excited because I have Jacoby Waters with Young Men of Distinction. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome. I'm super excited to have you here and talk about a lot of the amazing things that you have done, which we talked about in a 5-year span. So we're newish, but not really. You guys have done a lot, and it's gone probably really fast.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
So we're going to talk today about who you are, Jacoby. I know you are the CEO and founder of Young Men of Distinction, and right here in West Palm Beach. And I want to kind of know how this got started, what the mission is, what you guys are doing around here in Palm Beach County, who you're working with, and also any events and any opportunities for anyone out there listening to get involved.
Okay, absolutely.
So I'm going to let you get started. Why don't you tell us where this idea came from for Young Men of Distinction, and let's go from there.
All right, that's a great question. So I will honestly say Young Men of Distinction started with the village that I grew up in. When growing up I was born and raised in Riviera Beach, Florida. Mm-hmm. So my neighborhood was I was surrounded by older adults. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of kids, but still had that older male figure around, especially my grandfather, that's my superhero. That's my guy.
I love that.
And he and the neighbors, they all knew something about me, about outside the other kids. There was something special about me that they were very guarded when it came to me. Didn't know why, but I always had the heart growing up that I always wanted to give back to where I was from. Mm-hmm. And as I got older and started going through life, I realized that giving back to where I was from, giving back through my time meant more than trying to give back with money. Mm-hmm. And then watching the news, seeing social media, just didn't like how the media was portraying minority young men that looked like me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be that person that, instead of just complaining, I wanted to be the one that starts to change. Even if I don't see the change until after I leave this earth, at least I made my imprint, and that's something I live by, is always trying to leave a legacy.
I love that.
And that's why I tell my sons all the time is that, I'm here to leave a legacy for y'all, but also the young men that I come across every single day. And that's how Young Men of Distinction was birthed.
I love it. So do you come from a large family? Smaller family? Brothers and sisters?
So my mom's side, I have 2 sisters. Okay. On my dad's side, I have 5 brothers.
That's a big family.
And on both sides, I'm the oldest.
Awesome. Okay. And we were talking off camera, Jacoby has 4 boys.
Yes.
which keeps him busy.
4 boys that at times drive me crazy, but I love them so. And,
I think that's really cool that, you kind of started this legacy in mind with young men in mind. And here you are, you have like 4 boys that, can watch you do this, and maybe they'll carry the legacy on for you one day too, which is pretty cool to think about.
Absolutely. Especially, I really got more serious about leaving a legacy when my firstborn, who's named after me, mm-hmm. was born. I was around 30. No, he'll be 6. So I was.
We won't put him on the spot.
So it was like 28, 29 mm-hmm. when he was born. So that's what made me start to get more serious about life and want to make sure I started to leave a legacy. Like when I'm finally. And when it's all said and done, they can say, hats off, Dad.
I think that's amazing. And specifically, so, we made sure it's Young Men of Distinction. So we're really focusing in on starting young, right? So mm-hmm. the age group I think that we talked about and online was 7 to 18, really, right? So we're going in, and let's talk about some of the things that your mission focuses on specifically with these young men. So what do we want to teach them? What are we talking to them about? And why is that so important?
So for me, when I first started, I wanted to make sure that our young men know that they can compete. I always wanted to make sure they were always ready once they graduated high school. When I was growing up, unfortunately, my parents didn't go to college. So I was the firstborn, so I didn't know a lot of different things. And like I said, it's not their fault. It's not we just didn't know.
Yeah.
And I always had the mindset, even with my sisters and my brothers, I was like, I got to make sure I let them know, hey, you need to get your community service hours, you need to get involved, you need to do this. Like I said, I was the one that went through the trials and tribulations for them to be successful. So that's why I teach my young men. I also teach them that, as taboo as it may sound, is everybody's not meant to go to college. And like I said, when I was growing up, that was more the push, go to college, go to college. And I look back, I enjoyed the college I went to, but I could have not went to college and I still would have been successful.
Totally. And I think that's huge. And there are some other guests that I've had on the program have those types of programs, because I think that's super important. I mean, the trades and having just skilled trades that are out there, that's where the gaps are right now. I mean, there's a shortage in all of those things. And, somebody may be great at working with their hands in construction, but if they're steered off in a different direction, they might not be able to pursue that. And so I think that's really important. I think that's really cool that you guys do that. So through the programs that you guys do, I would say it's kind of like a mentorship then, right? I mean,
yes.
So are you guys teamed up like one-on-one, like somebody on your team is paired up with somebody,
pretty much how it goes is we do workshops. So we're together. We do community events, but they all know that I'm very accessible. Like, if they want to talk to me one-on-one, which they have no problems doing that. They look at me, well, originally I thought they would look at me as a big brother. That's not the case. They look at me as an uncle. And but they say I'm the cool uncle.
That's good.
And I had to remind them, hey guys, when I started the group, I said, hey guys, I'm only 30, so I'm not uncle yet. They're like, no, you're your uncle. You're the cool uncle. I said, I guess. So now I've accepted that role of being the cool uncle. Like I said, they talk to me about any and everything.
Awesome.
And like, people are so amazed that I can, every single young man that's in the group, I remember at least 1 to 2 things about them that's unique. And that's why I challenge myself. I'm like a mad scientist. Because that's what I want the guys to know, that I pay attention, 1. 2, I care about getting to know the person, not what you may put on social media. I want to know the person.
Right. Yeah, and you have a vested interest to really, at that point, once you get to know somebody, it's like you're like cheering for them. You want them so badly to just succeed, and watch that from start to finish, I'm sure is very satisfying. So I'm sure that's pretty cool. So tell me about how many kids are in the program?
Currently, we have about 20 young men in the program. That's between our North Campus in West Palm, Boynton Beach, and at John I. Leonard High School. Okay. And is there
how many high schools are you guys in?
This year we're still at John I. Leonard, and we're getting ready to start at Riviera Beach Prep. Okay, awesome. And so that's pretty cool, because as we talked about, I think you guys kind of formed right before COVID. May 3rd, 2019. Yeah, so right before COVID, which also I think is like a really pivotal time, because as we know, that was a hard time for a lot of our kids, our students, a lot of isolation, a lot of things going on there. So I think, the fact that you guys kind of came around and really made a push at that time is also important. Tell me about, so these programs that you have in the schools,
is it basically like a club? So does anyone, are they able to just come see you guys on a certain day, or how does that work? Do you have like a workshop day that you guys have and kids can just show up and become a part of it?
So at John L. Leonard, we meet right now. Currently, we meet every Thursday after school.
Okay.
So at John L. Leonard, we're a club.
Got it.
As far as at Riviera Beach Prep, we're more of an organization that comes in once a month and like talk to the kids.
Awesome.
But at John L., like I said, that's been the school that I've been at since we started.
Okay.
And, it's been nothing short of amazing. I love working with the guys there, especially my 2 juniors that are my president, vice president there at John L. Leonard. They are like my rock stars.
I love that. That's got to be exciting to watch them like just start with something, and the growth that you've probably seen with them already has been probably pretty cool.
Absolutely, it has.
Okay, awesome. So what? So tell me about like maybe the first. So let's go back like 5 years. Tell me about like one of the first kids that you saw come through, and where are they now? Tell me a good story, because I love to hear these stories about seeing things kind of come full circle when I talk to my nonprofit partners.
So, I got plenty of stories.
I know. we don't have enough time, which
right.
is this sad part of it all. But
so I actually start with this young man. He came into the group, during COVID, 2021, and he was my first teenage father. So I applauded him first off he graduated high school. Mm-hmm. He was very open to wanting to learn, wanting to grow. And because of the group and the opportunities he invested into the group, he was able to get an internship. No, I'm sorry, not internship. Apprenticeship at an electrical company that he was at an event. He asked me how does he approach the owner, because he really wanted to do it. I gave him some quick pointers. The owner took him outside, and pretty much he said, hey, once you graduate high school, you have a job.
Come see me, yeah.
So now he is evolving he's currently on my staff. He's like, I talk about him highly because he's just a great overall person, and I commend him every single day just for how I see him with his daughter, and just being that great father, and also for being just a great young man wanting to learn. And like him being in the group, I've made sure I open up a lot of opportunities because of his dedication.
And I'm sure just hearing his story and having him on your staff, he's like the perfect success story for your other boys to look up to and say, hey, look what he did and look where he's at. And that's like such a special thing to have. Because again, one thing you said earlier, which I really loved is, in nonprofits and wanting to like start a mission like this, a lot of times people think, I have to have money, I have to have financial backers, I have to have all this financial support, when a lot of times it's just time and talent. It's really what is like the backbone of a lot of these stories. And I love that you said that, because I feel like you put the time in, you find that talent, you've got this rock star now on your team who is like such an inspiration now and can motivate and drive just so many other kids that are in his situation that think, I can't do this.
And especially when I started the group, I always wanted the boys to have that sense of ownership in the group. And I want to say I got to give credit to Publix. When I started, when I was 14, when you first get hired, you become like a stakeholder in the company. So that's where I got the idea from with the group, is when I started, I was like, I want to make sure the boys know they own the group as much as I'm in charge. They are the face. I tell them all the time, y'all are the face. Yes, I'm doing all the press and all this and that, but that's the tedious stuff. I push y'all out there in the forefront. That's, so now like to have a total of 4 alumni on my staff.
So cool.
And I get a lot of their perspective, how the group goes, which is, for me, is a beautiful thing, because because I want to make sure like the information they're getting, the youth can digest it better. So why not hear it from their peers?
Absolutely.
You know, they say I'm the uncle, so them hearing it from me.
Well, yeah, it's like hearing something from your parents. Like, they don't know anything. What do they know? But
well, they listen to me, but it's like I'm very wise to know, like, all right, what I may be saying, half of them may understand, the other half don't.
Right.
What am I doing to make sure everybody as a whole receive the message? Let my alumni do all the facilitate the workshops.
Yeah, which is so cool. So they basically run those then. They're the face of those, which I love. So tell me about that. Tell me about the team that you guys have, because I know online you have a team. You have a lot of ladies on your team. I like that.
Yes, I have a lot of ladies.
I was like, girl power, let's go. I like this. I saw that on your website. I was like, oh, Jacoby, I like this.
They run the show. I'm just the guy that I'm just there. So that's why they look at the women on my staff as the motherly figure, but they know with me. That's why they know I'm more the fun one, because around them they will be very button up. But around me, I let them let them be loose, because I'm like, my philosophy is, I'd rather y'all get out the way now before we get around company.
Right.
Then y'all do this in front of company. So that's why they love the balance of
that's so fun,
allowing them to be them to like a greater extent, but then also when they're around like distinguished guests, they can still be them, but kind of taper just a bit.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, you have to learn that, in life too, right? You have to know your audience and, speak to that, which is really cool. What are some things, so you've been around 5 years now, what are some lessons along the way that you've learned from starting off 5 years ago to now today? Because obviously you guys have grown. You have 2 locations. You're in multiple schools. What are some of the lessons that maybe some of our other nonprofits watching can take away?
I would say with those times it gets hard, it gets rocky, always know your why. And when I have those moments, I always go back to my why. And if it was for the money, I would have stopped a long time ago. It's for these young men, the legacy I'm trying to leave for them. Even as a leader, I'm always trying to get better myself. I admit I'm very transparent. So that's a lot of things I learned, was to keep the transparency with them, to let them know that, yes, I'm the adult, but I can admit that, hey, I'm not at best with doing public speaking, or I admit a lot of my flaws to them, but I also show them the side of I'll continue to grow as a person, in which they appreciate. So that's why I would tell anybody is know your why. Always, as a leader, always continue to grow, because your team is watching you, that you may not know. Your team and your clients who you are helping, they're watching to see you. How are you? And that's why I make sure my evolution, I continue to show it to them.
Yeah, that's so powerful and definitely important. And, at the end of the day, everyone's human. So, we all make mistakes. We all, and if you're always looking for a way to grow and do things better, who's not going to respect that about you as a person and a leader? So I think that's really cool. So anyone watching here, maybe they want to get involved. What can they do? Do you guys have volunteer programs, or tell me a little bit about that? Things in the community if I want to help out.
So you can always go to our website. We're always looking for mentors, because I am eventually looking to do one-on-one mentoring, where there's a mentor assigned to them. So we're trying to build that up. We're always looking for volunteers when we have our signature events. I'm going to call them that.
And we'll get to those. I want you to walk me through those too.
So that, our website, we do a background check, because like I said, we're dealing with minors. So we got to make sure that the people that are volunteering, we vet them out. So, like I said, make sure our youth is safe, and the parents know that we are putting around safe, vetted people around their children.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, good. So let's get into the fun part of events because everyone loves a good event. So tell me about some of your signature events. What do you guys have coming up that you want to get out there?
So we actually have 2 events to end the year. And next month, November 26th, we have our first annual YMOD flash mob. So that is, you'll see the guys in suits. It's like a photo shoot.
Okay.
We're celebrating the young men in Palm Beach County for being just a great overall person.
Okay.
Came up with the idea, normally we celebrate the guys either if it's academic or it's athletics. But what about that young man that's not a great academic student? What if he's not an athlete? Where it's something to celebrate just him being just a great,
good
overall
human.
great person.
Yeah.
So that's what that event is
that's
celebrating.
Really cool. I love
celebrating those guys that feel like they get not noticed. I see you.
Yeah.
And then in December is our 4th annual tour drive, where this year and moving forward, I wanted to make sure our tour drive is filled with a lot of tangible items, meaning the kids get the toys, that's great. What about mom? What about dad? We want to make sure everybody experience a great experience for this Christmas and moving forward, because we want to make sure everybody is taken care of, especially what's going on in the world. We want you to leave our tour drive this year and moving forward like they really helped my family have a successful Christmas.
Right. Yeah. Because it is about the kids, but also, when you make the family feel good, everybody's in a good place together. I think that's really great. What a great idea. Where do you guys do that at, the toy drive?
The tour drive, I'm looking to do that in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
The flash mob is going to be in Riviera Beach Marina.
Okay, cool. I can't wait. So that'll all be on your social media?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I want to follow that. I want to see the flash mob for sure. And toys, I can always... toys and gifts, that's always fun to do around the holidays too. So is there anything you want to leave our viewers with? I commend you. This is like such a cool thing that you started. I think it's so important, so necessary. If you can help and give some hope to just like one kid out there, you've done your job, and you're doing this over and over again with countless men out there, and I think it's great. So anything that you want to leave our viewers with that they need to know about Young Men of Distinction?
So I will leave the viewers with Young Men of Distinction. We are the organization that is getting our young men ready to be successful and compete in the real world once they graduate high school. We are the organization that is family. That's the biggest thing, is we are a family. And, any help to the organization to keep it sustainable, we greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me here today. This has been awesome. Like I said, I was checking you guys out online, and just hearing it from you, I can hear and see the passion, and I think that's really cool. So thank you for everything that you're doing in our community. It helps everybody in the long run. And you guys check out Young Men of Distinction online. We'll put up all of their social handles. You don't want to miss their events that they have coming up, the flash mob, the toy drive. Let's get there and help out in any way that we can. And thank you again for joining us on 501c TV today. And thank you to Kana House Studios, Wellington's first and only social media content creation studio. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.